Hey, what's going on, everyone? So, welcome back to another episode of this little mini series where I'm going back through little childhood stories and turning them into tabs units. So, how about we hop in with spinning the wheel? Let's hope OBS doesn't do the thing it loves to do. Okay, we got the wheel up. Let's hit it. Okay, a short one. That's good. So, Origins was, I believe, the prequel to the dungeon. The dungeon was actually inspired after a party game. I don't remember the name of the party game, which is going to annoy me because it was actually an incredible game. Yeah, that's gonna bother me. Oh well. But basically, it created background to some of the characters. Sorry, just woke up a little bit before recording this. I just created this as like a prequel. That's like a backstory to the leaders of the dungeon. So, let me pull up my concept pictures. And we'll get into this one right here. Okay, so I have my concept art up. Let's get into making the unit. So these are supposed to be like an origin version of what are the god-like figures in the dungeon. So let's see if I can make this, and we'll be back when I'm done. Okay, so that is first unit down. So, as I said, we're following like the past of like demon slash god characters. So it's interesting. There's one that, let me tell you, a lot of people are gonna hate because it's literally just a spider person. But of all of them, this one doesn't have too much to it. The story is kind of eh. It just kind of exists to exist. There is an actual story to it. It's just a matter of whether it's even worth telling, because it is pretty short, as you can tell from like the 3 main characters, and that's it. So yeah, let's get into making our second character. I'll just have a time lapse of me making them. We'll make the next 2 and then I'll tell the story and we'll move on. So yeah, here we are. This character is done. And if anyone knows, because this character is a direct rip from the game that well, not direct rip, obviously, like a goofy rubberized version of it. But Joufon is a character in the game that this was inspired after, and I seriously am still blanking on the name of it, and it's gonna annoy me. So if you know the name of it, please drop it down in the comments. And while you do that, we'll move on to our third and final unit for this story. Okay, so that is all 3 characters made. So, I guess now it's time to start laying out the story here. I wish I had a bit better context, like y'all knew the future of it, but this is a prequel to one of my stories, and this was just kind of a thing that I just created to create. It was never anything special, but it was still something. So the way the story went was it followed one of the, well, 2 of the gods from the dungeon, which was Xylith, and I don't even remember how I'm supposed to pronounce your name. Bach? Yeah, something like that. And Joufon, who is literally a rip from the game that I'm thinking of, that this whole thing was inspired by, which is the whole reason why he ended up being kind of a knockoff character. But the whole point was behind this story is Jophant was like the king. He was the king of all this stuff. And he was so bad that demons were rebelling against him. That was, I believe, the whole concept behind the character. He was so bad that even demons rebelled against him. So, in response to these rebellions, he created Xylith. They gave him the ability to... He gave him a portion of his power and the ability to consume souls to get stronger, you know, like some Highlander style stuff. And then, once Xylith completely ripped through the rebellion against him, he ended up facing the leader of the rebellion and, Spider-Boy here. His name is probably like Baach. Baach. Sounds about right. He ends up running into Baach, and as he's killing the leader gives Xylith his power willingly before he dies, and Xylith ends up kinda waking up to the reality that Jophant only created him because he was scared of the rebellion against him. So Xylith used the opportunity to team up with Baach. They assassinated Jophant. Xylith took his power and shared it with Baach, and they both became the gods from the dungeon. It's a little hard given a prequel that requires context that it doesn't have yet, but I hope that explained it well enough. Okay, so we're back on the wheel, and we're gonna hit another spin, except now we can actually remove one from the wheel. Origins can go, because we've done the entire thing. So, let's see what we land on next. So okay, my mouse just flew off the screen. Okay. Wow. Okay. Symbiosis again. So that's two episodes in a row now where we have visited Symbiosis. So let me actually go back to this faction here, and I guess we can continue with creating characters for it. I'm not gonna lie, this wasn't the one I wanted to land on a second time. I wanted to land on Broken Nation, because that one has never been made in tabs, and I kind of like that little challenge. So, how do we lay this out? I think we will make like the background characters with this one. So I'm gonna go through, find them, and we will make our background characters. Okay, that is 1 unit down. These are just like base soldiers. And I think that's what I'm gonna do with this wheel spin, just kind of make these background characters. And then if we land on it again, we'll go into more of the big characters. But I have to make these background characters at some point, and I don't want to wait until the very end to do it, because then it's just, well, all I'm doing is background characters, and then, you know, it's just a lot more boring that way. So we'll get into making the rest of them, and then we'll add them all to the faction at the same time. So I'll see you when I'm done with that. Okay, so I feel like I do owe a little bit of context with this guy. This guy, there's still nothing really special about him. He is a side character. He's more like my custom side character. You know, he's just kind of there to be there. He doesn't really serve any significance, but, you know, he's there. So I felt like I had to clear that up because, you know, he's named. You never know. This could be a Warhammer type thing where random people are actually important. Or they're not important at all, you know? Warhammer. Gotta love it. Okay, yeah, so that's it for the side characters here. I was just double checking to make sure. That is all of the side characters. So, soldier, gunner, mercenary, Gustav. So that's all our side characters taken care of. There is still a lot more to this faction, which is the reason why I'm doing side characters now. So if we look at the faction here, I mean, yeah, there's 25 total characters in this faction. So this is one we'll come revisit. I think doing them in like spurts of like three or four will just make it a lot easier for me if I'm telling the story too. So, on that note, I say we move on. Or actually, how long have I been recording? We might end the episode. I've been recording for an hour. Yeah, okay. We're gonna end the episode here then. I might do a second one. Who knows? But thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched the whole way through, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, basic stuff. And yeah, if you enjoyed and you want to see more, let me know. If you remember the game that Jofont is from, please put it down in the comments because it's driving me insane. And yeah, thank you guys. See ya.